Can't speak. I can't speak today. Hey guys, I know this video is a little late and I really am sorry about that, but I simply did not have time yesterday to do this review, so you're gonna just have to have it now. Sorry. Now, before I start my review, obviously yesterday was Wednesday, so I had to stop by my local comic book store. I picked up a couple of things. First of all, I obviously picked up number 9 of All Hail Megatron. This is a weird one, but I can't talk about this yet because it's number 7 time. But I also picked up something that I've kind of been looking at for a little while, but I haven't been sure if I wanted to buy it yet, and I was finally like, yes, I have to buy this. And it's Volume 1 of Transformers Generations, also known, I think, as Classic Transformers. And for anyone who doesn't know, Transformers Generations is a collection released by IDW of old Marvel Transformers comics. This is like the coolest thing that I've ever bought, I think. It comes with 6 stories. It also has a really great couple of cover galleries, because obviously this is a trade and these were re-released with these covers beforehand. And I have to say my personal favorites are the ones done by Ashley Wood. You probably can't even like understand how awesome these are through the scope of YouTube, but I don't care, I'm going to try to show you anyway. Yeah, these things are just intensely epic. I love these covers. So this is awesome. I can't wait to finish reading this, and once I have some more money again, buy Volume 2. Now, on to today's agenda. Now today I'm obviously reviewing All Hail Megatron number 7. Once again, we have a concept art cover, this time of Sideswipe. It's got some notes on it. It says it's All Hail Megatron Sideswipe comic version, because there's another version of All Hail Megatron Sideswipe, I guess, based on Hasbro new toy design. So I guess Sideswipe's design in this is supposed to be based off of his universe design. Okay, that's cool. I'm just gonna say right now, this issue is like flashback city. There is a ton in this issue that happened like forever ago, apparently. So the issue starts off, and it's the Swarm, and there is like a ton of these guys. And we see that they're not attacking the Autobots because this is a flashback. We see that wherever they are on the inside is Megatron and the Seekers, that we know for sure. So they're walking through this hallway, and Thundercracker says, Megatron, if I may be so bold, and of course Megatron says, you know, you may not. And Thundercracker kind of comes out of nowhere and starts saying that they're torturing their own kind, that they're just twisted malfunctions and they should just kill them instead of torturing them. And I think it's safe to assume that basically what's been going on, like I said in my last review, is that Decepticon scientists have basically just been pumping out these horrible, twisted, as Thundercracker says, twisted malfunctions that are incredibly dangerous, that that have very low intelligence, and then basically been throwing them out. And this is really getting Thundercracker worked up, and he keeps saying they're our own kind, and he starts leaving, and Skywarp says, hey, he knows what he's doing, and Thundercracker says, yeah, that's what bothers me. I think that my thoughts about Thundercracker not being on board with what was going on are totally right. It's interesting to see that he is obviously not comfortable with kind of this abuse, I guess, of life. Now that's just kind of an odd little bit at the beginning, but I think it gives a good idea as to why Thundercracker is all, you know, quiet and emo in the present time. Oh, my phone is ringing. So yeah, I really like the fact that Thundercracker is getting what I think is a pretty unique characterization compared to the rest of the Decepticons. He basically has more of a conscience than everybody else. So we'll see if that turns into anything, or if it kind of just is like Thundercracker doesn't like stuff, end of story. Megatron pretty much doesn't really care that Thundercracker is mad. He has no reason to care. So they keep walking, and they meet up with this very mad scientist-y Decepticon. I had to do a little bit of digging, but it's a Decepticon from Generation 2 named Deluge, or Deluge. Deluge. So Deluge tells Megatron that they finally had a success. They finally made something from this whole experiment that has pretty high intelligence, and he's very excited about that. So Megatron goes in, and it's Bombshell. So what we find out here is Bombshell apparently was the first of the successful Insecticons. And Megatron is very pleased with the fact that Bombshell is smart enough to, I guess, know his own name, know that he lives on Cybertron, and know that he needs to torment stuff. Basically, once he tells Megatron those, like, 3 details, Megatron's like, yep, you're good. You get to go break stuff now. Okay. Actually, then Megatron says that he's going to take him to meet someone. I wonder who it could be. I don't know. So then we go back to the Autobots, and we get this funny little cameo in this page. There's a little caravan of Autobots, and in the background, from where, let's see if you can see this, look right there. That would obviously be Soundwave's lamppost mode from episode 1 of G1. So that's a nice little bit in there. So Cub tells Jazz to tell him everything that's happened, you know, tell him from the beginning. So Jazz tells him that what had happened was the Autobots and the Decepticons had basically gotten into a stalemate. And Jazz basically mentions that the Decepticons are pretty much lying low, and both sides are trying to find something to tip the scales. So the Autobots are looking for the Decepticons. And finally one day they find out that they hadn't been lying low, that there had been a power struggle, and there's a funny bit where after Jazz mentions that there's been some kind of struggle within the Decepticon ranks, he's like, Starscream, and Jazz is like, yeah, Starscream. And the Autobots are being told that that the Decepticons are split and they're kind of all over the place and they don't really have any leadership right now, which is awesome for them. And Cub asks, who gave you this information? And Jazz goes, well, it was verified. And Cub says, no, who gave you this information? And it was Mirage. So the Autobots obviously use this information to what they think is their benefit and go to take out the Decepticons. And it shows that the Autobots are just pumped. They are so excited to actually be fighting again. We get to see a very, very peppy Sunstreaker. It's almost kind of scary. He should not be smiling like that. It's a little bit too peppy for me. But when they get there, not so good. Basically, they were set up. They get there and they're just bombarded. Decepticons are coming from everywhere and they're attacking all of them. And Megatron and Starscream are standing right next to each other, so obviously the whole Starscream dissenting, taking his own, yeah, no, that didn't happen. So they start fighting back and they're doing okay, and they're kind of starting to get some hope. And then Devastator shows up, and apparently this is the first time that Devastator has ever been used. Basically, the Gestalt, or Devastator, is what Megatron is using to tip the scales. So they bring out Devastator, and that just freaks everyone out, and the Autobots are massacred. That would be why Sideswipe doesn't have an arm anymore. In the corner, it shows that Jazz is saying that it was our darkest hour, and we get this fantastic yet slightly unsettling page of Megatron ripping the Matrix out of Optimus Prime's chest. And this page is absolutely brilliant. I love this page, even though it's really sad.